Hey folks, it's Buddy Holmes. The next video that I was going to do was going to be a continuation of the leaf one that I started with, and we're still going to do that. But we were finishing up one of our herons. This particular one is kind of a spread wing flying heron with water pours off the wings, and we just finished it, and it was really kind of, dark color when you finish putting everything together like this, kind of dark, ugly, blackish gray. And we cleaned it up in the sodium bisulfate bath that we use. We have a big tub to do that, and cleaned it up, washed it, neutralized it, everything else, and brought it back inside, and now I'm going to put some color on it. So I thought it might be interesting for y'all to watch the color process. It's not complicated at all, but there's a few things that make it a little bit easier for you. So I'm going to do that. Okay guys, here's what we're going to do. First off, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this real well, but and you can do this any number of ways to flame color the copper. But what I generally do is I turn the torch up to the point where it begins to feather a little bit. And then you can get it, as hot as you want doing that, and just add more fuel and oxygen. But and that's feathered too much. I'm going to bring it back down to where it's just feathering a little bit, turning orange on the tip. And that's usually a good heat for me, because I like to take my time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it over the copper, and the only big thing that you need to think about here is you don't want to get it too hot, because if you do, what's going to happen is you're going to get right past the color that you wanted to stop at. So when it begins to change color, you want to just remove your heat and then just see what happens, because it may end up at a color that you really like. But if you keep playing the heat on it until it gets to the color that you like, well then when you remove the heat, it's just going to keep going, and it's going to change into something that maybe you don't like as well. And so we just take our time and kind of work our way around this until we get something close to what I want. Now if you end up short on the color, in other words it didn't quite get as deep as you wanted, you can always go back, but you don't want to get it so hot that it goes past the color that you wanted, because then it's a matter of cleanup again, and that gets to be kind of an aggravation. Now you can actually do some cleaning with the torch, and we'll get into that and show you how to do that at some future date, but not right now. But right now I just wanted to go ahead and show you. You play it up and down a little bit, and don't be impatient. Just take your time with it, and you'll begin to see the color change on it. And again, don't do it to where it's too hot. Don't get impatient to do that, because it'll shoot right past those real pretty colors and get into the kind of a silverish blue, and then right after that it goes gray again, and that's not usually a color most people want on their work. So we're just going to do this a little bit, and we're not going to do the whole fountain. This is just to show you, and this may not be as easy to see as the bigger feathers, so let's go ahead and move over here to this, and you just run it up and down. This is all, remember, 20-ounce copper, as I mentioned the other day on the other video that I normally use. We sometimes get a little bit heavier, but we didn't want this one too heavy, because this is suspended over one of our sugar kettles, and water runs through this and out the back side underneath these feathers, and so that adds weight to it. And we wanted to keep the bird as light as we could, because he's kind of cantilevered over the kettle. Doesn't have a brace right underneath him to support him, so we wanted to make sure that it was going to be strong in the long run. So we put braces on it, but nothing directly underneath him. So it's important to keep the weight down. But you can see how the color goes. It's not hard to do. Just don't be impatient, just kind of back off. And the longer you wait, by the way, if you kind of back off a little bit, just let it take its time, the colors generally will get a little deeper, but you do have to be a little bit more patient for that. So anyway, I thought you'd like to see this. So we're going to finish this thing up, and then we'll put a clear coat on it. And I'll use an automotive clear coat for this particular one. At the customer's request, he wanted it clear coated to stay nice for quite a while. I kind of like them actually to change myself over time and get that nice green patina on them over time, but you have to do what the customer wants. And that's plenty good for now. Now, the next video that shows up is going to be the one on forming leaves, and we'll get more into forming leaves and more complex leaves and hammering forms and things like that. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.